So every red dot represents an ordered pair. These are called scatter plots. We're doing 5.7 scatter plots and trend lines. So what is the slope, positive or negative? Show me with your arms. Make a plus sign or a minus sign with your arm or arms. This is a positive slope, right? You remember that stupid face? It's a plus on that first eyeball. This one is a negative slope. And then this one has no correlation. No, I can't draw a trend line in. I could draw an infinite number of trend lines in. And I'll show you what I mean right now. So if I draw a trend line in, what I'm trying to do is kind of divide the points, right? So I'm trying to have the same number of points on one side of the line as the other. So I've got this handy little line tool, which I meant to use, I will use now. There we go. So the bonus of this little smartboard is I can take my line and move it around until I think it's pretty good. It was pretty good right where it was. Here. So I like that there. And then if I try to draw a trend line on this last one, I could draw the trend line here because I've got same number of points on left as right. I could draw a trend line here, same number of points up and down. I could draw it here. I could draw it here, right? So this is said to have no correlation. You can't make any prediction about future events because its dots are totally scattered. This one, they're really close to this negative. This would have strong negative correlation. So if we wanted to predict an event further out on the x-axis, we could do it pretty accurately. If we wanted to predict an event on this one with positive correlation, we could make a pretty accurate prediction of a future event as well. Okay, so that's what we're talking about with correlation. Correlation ranges from -1 to +1. Correlation is represented by the letter R. I think eventually they start running out of letters, so they just start using new letters. It's got 2 R's in it, so maybe that's why they chose an R. C is used in other mathematical formulas, so they didn't want to use that one. So if we have a correlation of -1, that's like very strong or perfectly negative correlation. So this is the graph with negative correlation. If it were -1, every one of these red dots would be exactly on this line. So if it's perfectly positive correlation, every one of these red dots would fall on this line, the best fit that I drew there. So it goes from -1 to +1. When it's on either end of this spectrum, you can make accurate predictions. As it comes to the middle, the dots get spread out and you can't make any accurate predictions. Okay, if you're lucky enough to have me in Algebra 2, we'll do all of this stuff in the graphing calculator. So you'll learn how to enter all this data into that graphing calculator. We'll do what's called a linear regression to determine the equation of the trend line. And then we'll use that trend line to make predictions about future events. You can do all of that on the graphing calculator. What you guys are going to learn is how to do that by hand, okay? It's not quite to the level of specificity it has in the graphing calculator, but we'll get pretty close. So unfortunately, what you have to do now is write this entire chart down. So you've got 2 charts to write down. There's just no 2 ways about it. So as soon as you're done, give me like a thumbs up or something so I know you're done. The altitude, it's talking about a plane's altitude, starts at 0 and goes by 500s up to 5,000. So 0, 500, 1,000, 1,500, etc. And then if you can't read the chart, I can read them off to you as well. That's totally fine. So let me know if you can't see the chart. Okay, so Shay, altitude is going to be our x. And we're going 0, 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, all the way up to 5,000. So going by 500s. And then I'll read off the temperature, which is the y. So write temp for your y. Are you ready to go? Can I start reading them off? Nod your head yes if you are. Okay. So temperature starts with 0 is 59. 500 is 59.2. 1,000 is 61.3. 1,500, so 1,500 is 55.5. 2,000 is 41.6. 2,500 is 29.8. 3,000 is 29.9. 3,500 is 18.1. 4,000 is 26.2. 4,500 is 12.4. 5,000 is 0.6. Let me know if you need me to reread any of those. I'm more than happy to. Yeah. 0 is 59. 500 is 59.2. 1,000 is 61.3. 1,500 is 55.5. 2,000 is 41.6.